Welcome to the highlights of day one of the first test between Pakistan and New Zealand here in Auckland. And the good news was it was a beautiful day when it dawned here, and there was a lot of speculation about the toss and the way the pitch would play. Out in the middle, the two captains tossing the coin. Ken Rutherford for New Zealand, they're tossing the coin, and Salim Malik for Pakistan calling correctly and having no hesitation at opting to bowl first. At this New Zealand lineup, they left out left-arm spinner Matthew Hart. Young player would have been making his debut, but not to be this time round. And there was the Pakistan 11 as well. They settled on. They chose to leave out specialist batsman Shoaib Mohammad. So obviously a lot of strength in the bowling there. And to start the bowling, first ball of the innings was Wasim Akram bowling to Brian Young.
Set to go, the first ball of the test match. Wasim Akram. And slides away down the leg side. First run of the test match. As the batsmen cross, and we'll watch the umpire, and Dickie Bird signals a leg by. There's no mid on there, so Brian Young gets the first runs off the bat as the chaser is Basit Ali, and he comes back for the second run, and so New Zealand move on to 3 without loss.
The wicket here, though, looks good. It looks good for batting.
Pocock, he's on his way. An early blow struck by Wasim Akram, and Pocock is out without scoring.
Yes, well, just as you say, the wicket's good for batting. Blair Pocock spars at 1, and it actually left him off the seam, so there's plenty of seam there for Wasim. A good delivery, a bit wide of off stump, though, and he Sydney tickled that one through to Rashid Latif, and Blair Pocock up for naught. New Zealand 3 for 1. Yes, well, Salim's decision to bowl first has paid off, as we see the Making New Zealand replay here as Pocock fends at 1 outside the off stump. That one leaving him off the seam. A fair amount too from Wasim Akram, and a comfortable catch right through to the keeper Rashid.
Test wicket number 198 for Wasim Akram. Jones didn't look as though he was serious about playing a shot, but Dickie Bird says we'll have a left by for that. And it's a 4 for 1. Jones goes for it this time. And he got a couple of runs for this. Wasn't timed all that well. But nevertheless, 2 runs to get Andrew Jones underway. And the over finishes with New Zealand at 6 for the loss of 1.
Success for Jones, getting the ball behind point, and it's racing towards the boundary. The outfield just not quite quick enough to get it over all the way there. And there's some bounce and pace there. Well, if Walker puts it in, he can be rewarded. Oh, it's in the air, just carrying, just dropping a little bit short of Saeed Anwar at 3rd slip, but they've got all the slips there now. There are 5 slips in the gully. Jones driving down the ground. He hasn't got too much timing on this. A chase for Rahman, he'll pull it in, and 2 runs to Jones ends the over. It's 14 for 1.
Well, it's wide. To the space outside the off stump, and the first boundary of the day. Cracking shot from Brian Young.
Slip this one away down towards the man. Might go all the way, and yes it does. A second boundary for Brian Young. Jones drives for the keeper's good shot for runs.
So Jones is playing it down, and a chase for Mustafa from point. But no, says Dickie Bird. So a momentary worry for New Zealand, but it's 46 for 1 at the end of the over. And he's now, what, in 4.3 overs, Mushtaq?
There's a bit of a cry in close, as if the ball was in the air. In the end, it's just pushed away on the onside for a very comfortable 2.
Mushtaq, none for 7.
Again, pushing it on the onside for a comfortable 1 for Jones. There's the 50 up, end of the over. New Zealand 50 for 1. pitch, driven, good shot, through to the fence for 4.
Well, that's the second shot of the morning that we've seen hit the middle of the bat.
Ooh, tossed up again, driving, that'll go through again for 4 more. Identical shot. Well played.
Well, this is interesting cricket. Mushtaq Ahmed prepared to throw out the challenge, and Brian Young prepared to take it. But with that extra flight, the hope for the bowler is that the batsman won't quite get to the pitch of the ball and may loft it to those 2 fielders in close there. But Young up to the occasion, and that's 2 boundaries in this over.
Yeah, so he's gone on to 27. And that's all crossed up again. He's got an inside edge. It's slid away down to fine leg. There's 1 run, but going for the challenge again. Thick inside edge, got away with it. Just pushing this down. Now, this may run all the way for 4. There's no third man, and that's what it's done. So Andrew Jones picks up 4. So all of a sudden, we've got a spate of boundaries. So 1 ball to go to lunch here on the first day of this Bank of New Zealand test, the first in the series. No need to play that. It was a googly, but it was well wide. So into the over, the players make their way off Eden Park. And an interesting morning. 67 for 1 New Zealand. Pocock, the only man gone. He went for a duck. Young and Jones, a good partnership. Young on 29, Jones on 30.
Taken, and Brian Young disappears. First ball after lunch. Waka Yunus has struck. Lovely catch by Latif, and away goes Brian Young, and New Zealand 67 for 2.
Well, first ball after lunch, and Waka Yunus gets it pretty well on line, doesn't do a lot. Young playing a pretty lazy shot outside the off stump, really, and he gets a nick to Rashid. And New Zealand lose their 2nd wicket.
So Young out for 29, and New Zealand 67 for 2.
Well, I'm not sure what Brian Young had for lunch, but certainly this wasn't the right shot to play straight afterwards. Maybe it was the presence of Waka Yunus, but that was wide of off stump. Didn't do a lot in the air off the seam. He just sort of played across the line or through the line of it and getting a nick. And that's a great start from Pakistan and Waka Yunus, and Ken Rutherford straight away into the action. A lot earlier than he expected.
Rutherford forces through mid-wicket. Chance for 2 runs to get Ken Rutherford underway. And that's a good confident start by the New Zealand skipper. Rutherford plays nicely down through 3rd man. That's going to be 4 runs. Rutherford has his first boundary, and New Zealand go to 83 for 2.
So you can see that the 4 slips in the gully are being maintained by Salim Malik, and Jones has given them a wee bit of a flurry, and he's giving that one a really big hit. That's a great shot from Andrew Jones. That's another boundary, and that's a beauty. Jones Rutherford hooking and getting just a little bit of an edge on it. There was a bit of interest from Rashid Latif, but the ball eludes him, and it's another boundary for Ken Rutherford. So Rutherford has done it again. He's pulled an inside edge, a slower ball, a bit of width. Rutherford goes for it, and the 3rd wicket falls.
Well, top captaincy this. We talked about this as he came into bowl, Peter. The slow wide one that he's going to have a go at, because he's put the carrot there. He's brought his man in front, but Ken Rutherford's dragged it onto off stump. So that plan worked for Pakistan. Certainly for Ken Rutherford it didn't. He's gone for 14. New Zealand now 95 for 3. Yes, we'll just see. We talked about the possibility of the slower ball when he brought the man in to short mid off, and Ken Rutherford has gone after it. He's seen that man in there. He's tried to take him on himself and get it past him, and he's just thrown the kitchen sink at it, got the inside edge.
Ooh, where's that gone? It's in the air off the back of the bat, and it's running down to fine leg. He made evasive action or ducked for cover, put the bat up in periscope fashion. It's brought his 50 up, but what an extraordinary way to bring it up.
Yes, he got into also shaking his head there in disbelief, really, Jones. He ducked it, left the bat in the way. It's hit the back of the bat, could have gone anywhere.
It's sliding off the face through the gully region. It'll run away to the boundary there. It's a short boundary. So a 4 to Great Batch, 114 for 3. But the left-handed Great Batch will face Mushtaq now for the first time. And he crashes him away off the back foot for 4 runs, just forward of point. And there's another solid-looking shot, and that's running away for 4 more. But I'm not sure that he knew where that was again, but prepared to take up the challenge, and it's paid off for him on this occasion.
This man has a good googly.
Swings it round the leg side and hits it well too. 6 runs to Mark Great Batch.
Well, that's a fantastic hit for Mark Great Batch, because that is a very long boundary out there square. You see that one there being picked off, swept beautifully, and he really hit that in the middle.
Goes for the big drive. He's got it away. This will be another 4. Well, he looked like he was trying to punch it through the covers, but it's 4 backward a point, and that's 12 runs off the over. It's 153 for 3. Edge and just short. Not sure that it carried. We'll have to wait and see. Amir Sahel at second slip. Let's see if it carries.
You know, it just holds up with the seam a bit, and it certainly doesn't carry, just falls short of the second slip. But a bit of a lazy shot from Andrew Jones, just sort of waving the bat, trying to angle it down, if you like, into the gully region.
Yeah. Well, he's going for more again. Great Batch has taken to him, and he's hit this fine enough to go down to the boundary for Great Batch's 7th 4, and he's had 1 6 off Mushtaq too. Great Batch 44 from 30 balls. And he's hit that pretty well, but into Basit Ali. And so our cameraman comes back to the short leg fielder, who's okay.
That's right, and he's got to keep his field rather in a defensive position for Mushtaq Ahmed, who is bowling short and bowling full tosses.
So that's the second boundary in the over from Mushtaq. Great Batch is 48 now. He's had 32 balls only, and he's just hammering Mushtaq on the leg side.
That delivery, he takes it on the up, in fact a full toss, just sweeps it around the corner. Not much problem for Mark Great Batch. He's enjoying himself in the middle.
And it's been a really red-blooded counter-attack from Mark Great Batch. And he's down on the ground. It's up in the air. Salim Malik is going to catch it, and Great Batch is not going to get his 50. So Mushtaq has success when he might well have been bowling what could have been the last ball of a spell. He was hammered, but he gets the result he wants, and Great Batch has gone for 48.
A very fine innings there by Mark Great Batch. That was the only ball in the last 3 overs which really was bowled on the length, and Mark Great Batch, going great guns, had a go at it and didn't really time it, and Salim Malik, standing wide off mid-off, took it very easily.
It's 170 for 4 now.
That delivery, flighted delivery, tempting Great Batch to have a go at him, and he did in fact, but mistiming that shot on the offside, lobbing it in the air to Salim Malik, the Pakistan captain, wide off mid-on, and he never lost his eye on the ball and took a very good catch. Delighted, of course, Salim Malik, the Pakistan captain.
Ball, and Thompson gets his first run.
So New Zealand move on. Interesting afternoon.
Yes, well, it is, what, 107 for 3 wickets in 21.2 overs since lunch. Now, is this Test cricket?
It's one-day stuff, isn't it? Surprising.
Umpire Dickie Bird says you're out. Andrew Jones does not seem happy about it. But the Pakistanis are excited. They've got rid of Jones, caught behind, bowled Mushtaq.
Well, he's played away for himself. He hasn't picked the googly here. Look, it's come back through the gate. And what the Pakistanis are appealing for is an inside edge. They're confident. Dickie Bird was also. And so Jones has gone. New Zealand now 175 for 5. Well, it's been entertaining. And back through the gap between bat and pad, played for a leg break. It just spun back through the gate. Inside edge, he's given out on.
And he drives. And that's 4. No one moves. Crashes into the extra cover boundary. Fine shot. Into the over, 179 for 5. And driving and gone. Hit at it, he wasn't quite to it, Chris Cairns, and he's hit the catch out into the covers, and he's gone.
Well, New Zealand have to be careful here. They could be bowled out for 220. They're not very careful. It's just up to him, didn't get to the pitch of it, hitting it in the air and going to extra cover. It's more than 2 minutes to go just before the break, so they'll remain out there until at least the completion of the over. 185 now for 6.
Oh, he's really in trouble, Shane Thompson, all over the show trying to get out of the road of this one. I don't think there's any problems with him, just a little disorganised.
Yes, he's certainly lost a little bit of poise, to say the least here. Let's just watch this. And rather fortunate, too, that he doesn't dislodge a bail. He's very close back on his stumps. Just watch how close here. And look at that foot, went reasonably close to the stumps. And in the end, just playing along a little.
Oh dear, this is another nasty one. He manages to fend it off somehow. Goodness me.
So Mushtaq is going to bowl Tony Blaine to take his first ball. He was out there before tea, but didn't face a delivery, so he will now. And he starts with a big hit. Everybody has a look, and it is 6 runs off the first ball he faces.
Well, it's all happening on the first ball after any break, and we saw after lunch a wicket, and now we see 6 runs on the bat of Tony Blaine. That ball really a long hop for Mushtaq, and Tony Blaine latching onto that, smashing it over square leg for 6.
Mushtaq to bowl. And that's a lovely shot by Shane Thompson. And that brings up the New Zealand 200. Goes for the big hook. And gets a hold of it too. That's a good shot. Goes for the hook and plays it well. Looked like he made a pretty late decision on that, but went through with it, and 4 more.
Oh, it's an edge, and Latif has his 4th catch. Yunus doesn't take long to strike. And a further blow for New Zealand. Thompson out for 29. And what a match breaker Yunus is.
Well, he's softened him up with the short fly of the ball before, and then he's got him on the back foot and not really moving anywhere at all. Bowls the full one. Good line. Thompson plays the shot, just gets the touch, and the wicketkeeper does the rest. Catch number 4 for him. New Zealand 227 for 7.
And just look at the footwork of Shane Thompson here.
Yes, it's almost non-existent, isn't it? Even the front foot moves almost after he's played the shot. Very, very crease-bound, and that was the problem there. The ball was well directed. It did require a shot.
And there's not going to be too long for Simon Dool because he's out first ball. Waqar Younis is on a hat-trick. That's exactly what Pakistan wanted. They are delighted.
Well, clever bowling this from Younis. I think Simon Dool all the way out there probably thought, how quick's this first one going to be? Is it going to be a bouncer? Is it going to be a quick Yorker? And he's held it back. And in effect, it hasn't arrived. And Dool's halfway through the shot, and he's just chipped it straight back to Younis. He says, thank you very much. I'm into wicket number 4, staring down the barrel of another bag full. Simon Dool's gone for naught. New Zealand 227 for 8.
Richard de Gruen is the batsman who will face a possible hat-trick, with Waqar Younis having taken 2 wickets in 2 balls. The scene is being set for the possibility of a hat-trick. Salim Malik is reorganising the field, reshaping everything to put enormous pressure on Richard de Gruen. There are 4 slips, a gully, a short backward square, short forward square, and a silly bit off. Here's Waka Yunus. And he hasn't got it. De Groen's got runs instead. And that's an enormous relief for Richard de Groen. And he's going to be out caught. He is caught. It's Mushtaq Ahmed who grabs it. And so the short ball is enough for Richard de Groen. Wasim Akram has his second wicket, and New Zealand at 232 for 9.
Michael Owens now to face Waka Yunus. 1 ball left in the over. He gets back to it. He's going to take a single. He might come back for 2, and that's what they'll be seeking to do. And they have. There's a sigh of relief out there as Owens comes back for the second. That's the end of the over, 235 for 9. Well, he's gone for a big shot here, and he's got hold of it, and it's over the man at square leg. Was it 6 runs? We're waiting for Dickie Bird. Yes, it is. So, fine shot from Tony Blaine. He picked it up rather well.
Almost the longest corner of the ground here. The line's right, it's down leg side, very much into leg stump. There's a man out there, but he's just behind square, and Tony Blaine hit it squarer than that.
He's gone again. It's in the air, down to third man. He's gone.
So New Zealand dismissed in the end around 4:15 for a total of 242. Look at the scoreboard there. Good effort from Andrew Jones, 66. Mark Greatbatch, a whirlwind innings of 48, and a little cameo from Tony Blaine towards the end. So 242 in the end. The bowling figures for Pakistan was Akram picking up 3 for 50. Waka Yunus, very dangerous, especially towards those tail enders. In the middle, Mushtaq Ahmed, 3 for 79. So 242, the end result for New Zealand. And when it came to the bowling side of things, it was Chris Cairns opening up to Saeed Anwar.
Chris Cairns, first ball of the innings to Saeed Anwar. And a no ball first up from Chris Cairns, so the first run scored by Pakistan. And that's nicely played away down through third man. First boundary of the innings from Saeed Anwar, and Pakistan go to 5 without loss. That's a bit wide. That's beautifully played by Saeed Anwar. Third boundary coming up. It's starting to stagger a bit, but it'll make it all right. And that's another boundary. And Saeed Anwar is out. Pakistan lose their first wicket.
Well, great stuff for New Zealand. Exactly what they wanted. Just the thing to spur them on and spark them up. And Chris Cairns, the man, getting the wicket. BBC started this off very well. That's the right line, and he gets a touch there from Saeed, and Blaine takes a good catch to his left in front of Greatbatch. You see Pakistan lose their first wicket, 17 for 1. Here's the dismissal of Anwar, and there we saw Cairns bowling in that area there, which was neither forward or back for the batsman, where Mark Coe was talking about, just that dangerous sort of length, and fending away outside the off stump there, getting the touch, and Anwar on his way for 16.
So there's Sahale's first runs. He's taken 16 balls to get off the mark, but he's made it. And Richard de Groen can't prevent him getting 3. Mustafa gets his first run. And comes back for the second. So Pakistan 26 now for 1 in reply to New Zealand's 242. Him on the helmet now. He was taking evasive action. He was avoiding being hit, so that even though he didn't play a stroke at the ball, because he was trying to avoid it, the runs, the 4 of them that come from his body, are credited.
Short delivery, and Mustafa ducking into it. It gets on the top of his shoulder, and it sails past, in fact gets it on the helmet, and the ball sails over Tony Blaine, the keeper.
Success for New Zealand, and they're delighted with Mustafa just pushing at a ball which left him, and the second wicket's fallen.
Out goes Mustafa, the left-hander. So delivery, that one. Just moving away from the left-hander, getting an outside edge, and the keeper, Tony Blaine, does well to dive to his left and pick up a catch low down in front of the third slip.
Well, it was just a wee bit wide, but you can see that
right behind that delivery, and he just edges it in the third slip region, where Blaine dives desperately to his left to pick up the catch.
A nick, and it went to slip, and it was caught. Brian Young took it very comfortably, but the arm was out from the umpires. Great batch. First slip. Batted in whirlwind fashion today. 48 in jig time. Oh, he's gone. What a superb catch. And Pakistan have lost their third wicket with a great catch. Andrew Jones in the gully, Richard de Groot in the bowler, and Amir Sohail has gone.
Well, from New Zealand's point of view, to get rid of him tonight was critical. It's not the night watchman that's gone, it's three of their top order, and he really clips this one hard. Let's see this angle, slashing at it, and Jones, although it went straight to him, we didn't get a good enough indication there of the pace of the ball. It's a fine catch, and a full-blooded cut shot from Sohail. So he's gone. It's 48 for 3, Pakistan.
There's the bowling for New Zealand. 1 for 24, Cairns. 1 for now de Groot in this over. And here's Salim Malik underway. Should pick up 2 here. Don't seem too much in too much of a hurry. So there's the 50 up for Pakistan. Chris Cairns. Oh, it's in the air. He's gone. So Mushtaq, the night watchman, is gone. Well, they're falling like flies here at Eden Park. Pakistan in further trouble. They've lost their 4th wicket. Mushtaq, the leg spinner, sent in as night watchman. And he's nicked one.
Yes, well, that's a good delivery. And look at that, just a very easy catch there by Young. The third slip. It's what, is it second or third slip? It's second slip, and he took that so easily. And so Dool strikes for a second time in just his third over, and has the fantastic figures now of 2 for 8 from 2.1.
Well, New Zealand certainly striking back after being out for 242. Simon Dool. That's not a bad ball. It's an edge. It may run away for 4, but a foolish delivery that swung, and at the bottom of the bat, very edgy, has slipped down to third man for 4. It's Salim Malik, the skipper of Pakistan, on strike. Oh, it's in the air. It's fallen safely. Well, goodness me, he went to turn that on the leg side, turned the face of the bat, it hit a leading edge, it lobbed out into the offside, but it fell safely. So there we are, the end of the day's play, the first day here at Auckland, this Bank of New Zealand test, the players making their way under the stand.
That'll be 6. That's a huge hit. Healthy average, Basit Ali. Well, that's a lovely shot straight down the ground. Beautifully played. Long chase for the New Zealand field. And the ball goes to the boundary. First boundary of the day. Full toss this time from Dool. Tried to bowl the Yorker, over-tossed it. Jones has a chase, but it may be forlorn. It is 4 runs.
It's a lovely shot from Basit Ali. He timed it beautifully, and Cairns wasn't able to pull it in, and it might well cost him 4. Oh, it's a lovely shot, but it's dropped by Jones, by Rutherford. When I say a lovely shot, that is a misnomer if the ball goes in the air and to a fielder, but he hit it well.
Yes, I think that's what you meant, Peter. He did strike it well. He got plenty of bat on it, and it went hard and fast to Rutherford's right.
Here he goes again. He's out. He's out this time. Once too often for Basit Ali, and he looks the first of the morning, and jubilation for the New Zealanders.
Well, he didn't learn his lesson, and I'm sure he may get the message when he gets back to the dressing room. He's had a job to do. He started positively, but he's given it away. Just played across the line there, got a bottom edge, quite safely through to Tony Blaine, who throws it, and he's delighted. Cairns is delighted, so is New Zealand. Pakistan 87 for 5.
This man is very important.
Yes, very much a psychological point in the game now. This is the partnership. Inzamam's out now because of this. A very loose shot. Just that bottom edge, you can see the deviation. Tony Blaine saw it, he caught it. And Basit Ali, I'm sure he's probably getting the message now from Intikhab Alam. He'll be saying, you've let your captain down. He's not out at the other end. Your job as the younger player was to support him.
And he gets his first run, the 500th of his career. And it takes Pakistan to 88 for 5 at the end of the over. And that's a better ball. He's caught by Young. Salim Malik is gone. Dool has his third wicket. And an important wicket for New Zealand. Salim Malik out. The captain's gone.
Well, we've been searching for a new Jeremy Coney for a few years now, and I think we might have found one at second slip, because not many people have a better pair of hands than Brian Young. Look at that, straight in the slot. That was not an easy catch. It was to his left, it was humming, but he made it look so easy, and there it goes in the pocket. That's how easy it was. Malik's gone. Pakistan 93 for 6.
Simon Dool on his way. And fairly flowing looking shot here. He's reached very wide for it. It's run away out towards the boundary. It's struggling out there, but it's just made it. So 4 more. It's in the air through the slips. It's going to race down for 4 more. It was catchable, I suppose. It was very difficult. There's a fairly solid cordon there. We'll have another look and see the line of it.
Yes, well, it's certainly in the air. We see that angle showing that it's wide of the fielder. They've got, what, 2 slips and 2 gullies on now, but played very freely.
First ball, good-looking shot from Rashid. There's no mid-on in. May go all the way. It was timed reasonably well, and it has. So 4 to Rashid.
That's well played down the ground. And it's through and will run all the way for 4. Well, in fact, slowing up a bit and will be hauled in. They've been able to run 3.
It's a very straight, does Inzamam. Good shot. Chase for Andrew Jones. And he gets it just under the side screen there, and the batsmen have time for a further 3. Oh, that's a lovely shot off the back foot. Beautifully timed. No chance for the New Zealand field. 4 runs to Inzamam.
A good delivery coming into the batsman, and just playing across the line. Rashid Latif tries to flick it on the leg side, gets it on the pad, and Steve Dunn.
Well, he certainly had a good look at it, but there's the end of Rashid Latif for 30. It's 141 for 7 now. So Inzamam Al-Haq is in strike, and it's de Groot to him. And that's a lovely shot off the back foot, and he hit that with real power. And look at that, that's going to go all the way. He had not much room, and with very strong forearms, he just thumped that with lovely timing.
And they're under 100 behind now. So interesting game developing. Well, hooking that one away. He's got hold of it beautifully, and it races into the backward square boundary for 4. That's a good shot. It's over-pitched. He's dug it out rather well and timed it down the ground, and it goes all the way for 4. Just turned away on the leg side. There's a bit of confusion here. Wasim Akram is just dawdling along, and the ball is fired at the bowler's end, and Wasim Akram, had that hit, might have been in trouble.
I think he might well have been. We'll see on a replay here. He just ambles through, didn't realise the danger. It just starts off and very quickly picked up and thrown. And let's just watch as it goes by. Yes, well short, would have been well short.
So the last ball of the morning session, Chris Cairns to bowl it. And, safely played out on the offside by Wasim Akram, and the players make their way off the park for lunch here on the second day. Pakistan 162 for 7. Inzamam, he's on 33. Wasim Akram on 6.
Edge, and that's been spilled on this occasion. Well, the New Zealand slip fielding has been very good.
It was a good nick, actually, but and Young had to go to his right to grab it, right in the middle of them. That's really what was the difficulty of that catch. It's still one to that could have been held.
Well, that's short, and it's straight into the boundary fence. Well, Inzamam has 5 boundaries there, and you can see that 3 of them are down the ground. And really, for the most part, the shots that he's made have been from shorter pitch deliveries. And it's in the air, and he's going to be out. He's got another one. Inzamam's not too happy about things, but he's leaving. And De Gruyne has the wicket. Young has a further catch, and the 8th wicket has fallen.
Well, we said keep him on the front foot, and he brings him onto the front foot, but he's a little bit caught crease bound. That's a perfect length, and he's pushed forward at that, tried to work it on the onside, almost got a bit of a leading edge, back of the bats, ballooned in the air, and Brian Young has made good ground to pull that one in. So the danger man is gone. Pakistan 176 for 8.
He's being replaced by Waqar Younis. And let's look at the replay of it, and let's look at what Rutherford does with Young. There was nearly a mix-up.
Yes, the ball balloons, almost a hint that it's come off the pad. It's that soft, and Rutherford almost in collision with Young, but a good lesson for the youngsters here. Brian Young, though it was a relatively simple slip catch in terms of slip catches, he never took his eye off the ball. He was always focused. He didn't worry about Ken Rutherford. The ball was all he was interested in.
Brian Young has his 3rd catch, and my word, he's done it well. And that's a big hit from Akram. Take that, says Wasim Akram to Chris Cairns. So Akram's gone to 16 with 2 boundaries, and Waqar Younis must wonder what he's done to. With Akram blazing through backward point, a big chase, but it's to no avail. It's all the way to the boundary. So with 10 runs taken in 3 balls, it looks as if Akram's decided that he's got no partners left, so he's got to go for it. But we've had 2, 4, 4. So what's thinking going through Chris Cairns' mind as he comes in? And it's over the top again. And that's a huge hit. That's right up into the stand.
Well, stand and deliver, Wasim Akram says. This ball is certainly not there to hit in this place, but it gets there. It's not a bad delivery from Cairns. If he has a look at that later in the day, you think that wasn't that bad a ball. Akram has laid back and got under it, and he smashed that high into the stand.
It's in the edge again, and Waqar just gets past Young, and he gets his first runs, and it's a boundary. It's a full toss, and it's smashed down the ground by Waqar Younis. The full toss takes them to 203, and they're 8 down.
Waqar Younis, is he caught? Well, there's a bit of juggling going on, but he's out. Chris Cairns at square leg has taken a catch. It was nervous moments for him as he juggled with the ball, but in the end, Waqar Younis has gone.
Well, these two certainly were looking to get after it from both ends. And this is Doull's 4th wicket. Just flicking it off his toes. Waqar Younis. And a real juggle there from Cairns. But in fact, Doull now has 5 wickets for 59. Waqar Younis is on his way, and the Pakistanis 207 for 9. Let's just have another look at the wicket. And that's Waqar Younis. And let's see the juggling act here from Cairns. Relatively simple catch. He kept his eye on the ball, which is one thing in his favour, because he at least knew where it was once the juggle started. tipping it up, and then hugging it into the body.
Yeah, Yes, there was nervous moments there indeed. He did well to get up to it, tipped it up, but about 4 goes there. And you do tend to try and grab once you're into the fumbling process. Oh, edgy, but it's along the ground. It's rolling down to Andrew Jones, who's coming around from third man. And they scurry back. So more runs to Pakistan. Into the over, 215 for 9. Well, the field's spread far and wide. There's only a slip and a gully within range of the batsman. All the rest are on the boundary. Has he nicked it? He has nicked it. Just a little dabble, gets the outside edge, 3 to Blaine. So the last Pakistani has gone. Wasim Akram, a good hand from him, 35 runs, straightforward catch through to Blaine, and de Gruen picks up another wicket. So that wraps up the Pakistan innings, 215 all out, and Wasim Akram the man to go.
Well, here he was trying to play a delicate little shot down to third man. And that little delicate shot ended up an edge, and de Gruen delighted. He gets his 3rd wicket, 3 for 40 from 17.4 overs. So he'll take it and be delighted with that, being the most economical of the New Zealand bowlers. Just a little top edge trying to dabble or dab it down to third man.
So there we are, Simon Doull going off the park here, 5 for 66. Good performance, good all-round performance by the New Zealanders. Pakistan all out here, the 215.
So Pakistan all out for 215. Good contribution there from Inzamam Ul-Haq, batting way down the order there at the number 7. Latif played well for 30 and Akram for 35. And New Zealand bowling figures, well, Simon Doull, his best ever performance, 5 for 66, and good support too from de Gruen with 3 for 40. New Zealand then enjoying a 27-run credit going into their second turn at bat, and opening up for Pakistan. And once again, Wasim Akram bowling to Brian Young.
Here's the first ball of the second innings.
Blair Pocock there, it's a little bit concerned in what he might be with Akram bowling.
That's an inside edge and he's caught. What a marvellous catch. And Brian Young is out. New Zealand lose their first wicket in the first over with no runs on the board.
Well, this looks a quicker ball from Akram, and it comes back into Young, and he gets an inside edge, and that's a superb catch from Rashid, going well to his left. And New Zealand lose their first wicket in the first over.
Away goes Young, and New Zealand have lost their first wicket with no runs on the board.
Different angle, watching Brian Young nick that one inside edge, and it was a great catch from Rashid. And disastrous start for New Zealand.
Pocock tucks it away down to fine leg and gets his first run of the test. Jones goes for this. That's a good shot. And the first boundary of the second innings smacked away by Andrew Jones. He goes for it. He's caught behind Jones. Didn't need to play it really, and he got a touch. Wasim Akram has a second one, and New Zealand 8 for 2.
Well, we saw Jones against Waqar Younis square cut, and here that back foot, see that back foot there, and he tries to play off the back foot through the offside. A rash shot really, and on his way Andrew Jones, New Zealand 8 for 2. Here's Akram sliding one outside the off stump away from Jones, who tries to slash it through the offside and does nothing more than get an edge. So trying to be aggressive, but probably overly aggressive to that delivery.
Well, he's taken the opportunity to get off the mark.
Well, he's a guy who's, in the situation of this game, could well play a very important part. There's a very good ball from Wasim Akram, which causes Ken Rutherford all sorts of trouble, but which is going to bring runs to the New Zealanders. It's league bye being signalled by Steve Dunn.
So it's all attack for Pakistan. Waqar Younis on his way. And that's a good shot, well controlled, pushed out on the onside. Long chase here for Basit Ali. And they come back for another comfortable 3. So well done, Blair Pocock. Hooking. And he's got it well, just behind square. And it races away for 4. It's in the air. He's gone. And again, Blair Pocock pushing forward. Wasim Akram has found the edge and into the slips. New Zealand in further trouble. Pocock gone.
Effective bowling here from Akram, bowling a couple of short ones and then one further up, and Pocock reaching, just committing himself too early to the ball, and at the end he really didn't need to play it, but that angle of the left armour has brought the demise of Blair Pocock. So New Zealand now 31 for 3.
And so Wasim Akram has a successful over, comes to an end. He got the wicket of Blair Pocock, and really, Glenn, 31 for 3, not much of a lead in the first innings. This game is going on at hectic pace as we have another look at the dismissal.
Yes, just taking the hand off the bat, and we saw that the blade opened as well, and just pushing a little wide there, Pocock. I don't think at the end he really wanted to play it, but he committed himself to it, and Mushtabar, the successful catcher.
Rutherford plays a confident shot to get the session underway, racing off towards the boundary. It's a long way out there, and the fieldsman should get to it, and the batsman will have time to come back for a 3rd run. So a good start by Ken Rutherford for the session. Well, that's gone straight up in the air, and he's caught by Inzamam, and away goes Mark Greatbatch out without scoring. And New Zealand are 35 for 4.
What an awesome delivery this is from Wasim Akram. Very quick. And Greatbatch getting into a very awkward position here, not knowing really what to do, whether to duck it or to try and paddle it around. And all he did really was just pop it straight up in the air. Good catch there by Inzamam. And New Zealand in real trouble now, just straight after tea at 35 for 4.
Shane Thompson waited round for the umpire to say yes, and away he went. So that's another New Zealand wicket down. It's 40 for 5.
For the second time in the match, Waka has got Thompson nicking behind, well outside the off stump, didn't need to play at it. Thompson really just waving the wand there.
Disaster for New Zealand, 40 for 5, and the lead is just 67 runs, and Chris Cairns coming out to bat now.
Here's a view of Waka, the delivery to Thompson, and well wide of off stump. Thompson only managing to tickle it away. Pretty unconvincing shot.
Oh, Rutherford goes for it behind square, and he gets it well, but not quite well enough. And it's a long chase out there to the boundary. They've run 2, and Keens will come back for the 3rd as Mr. Hale returns the ball. Waka Yunus Yorker has dismissed Ken Rutherford.
Well, this killer delivery has sent many a batsman packing, and Ken Rutherford's got an absolute cracker here. Very, very quick Yorker. Very hard to play. Just look at the length of this delivery. He's just clamped down on it. A slight inside edge. I detect the slight inside edge has dragged it onto the off stump, so a similar dismissal as the first innings, but a far better delivery. New Zealand now 44 for 6. This is the trademark of Waka Yunus over the years, and we can just see the little inside edge, which didn't help Ken Rutherford's cause. Look at the delight there. He knows that's a crucial wicket. He knows he's starting to get back into that kind of form that he likes early in the series. Bit of a rueful look down the wicket from Ken Rutherford, and that's quick, I can tell you that.
Yeah. So Cairns opens his scoring. Yes. Well played, judging the opportunity for a run there. So Cairns really is a player who, throughout his relatively short career for New Zealand, has increased in stature all the time. And the 50 for New Zealand is registered with that single. Waka Yunus is going to bowl his 9th over, 2 for 20. Cairns flicking it well, hitting it very well indeed, and that's racing across the outfield here. It's quick, and it was timed beautifully for Cairns, his first boundary. Oh, he's hit that well too well for Yunus, and another chase for Salim Malik. 3 to Cairns to end the over at 61 for 6.
He's hit it reasonably well. It should run away for 4 here. So Tony Blaine underway with a boundary. There's a lot of open spaces out there with all the attacking fieldsmen. Oh, he's knocked that behind. Straightforward catch through to the keeper. Tony Blaine on his way. Rahman, the third seamer, has picked up his first wicket. So New Zealand in all sorts of problems.
This looks like a good delivery. It's angled in. It's bounced a little, just left him a fraction. It didn't have to do a lot. It only has to do half a bat to find the edge. But the bounce, I think, as much as anything, has done Tony Blaine. And so New Zealand now 67 for 7.
Here's the dismissal.
See that height? It almost got up round the splice. Now, once again, Dickie Bird doesn't tend to bother giving people out as long as they're prepared to go. Just pauses.
Gives them a chance.
That's right, and if the batsman looks up, hangs around, then the finger comes up.
And Simon Dole has got off the dreaded pair and hit it out through mid-wicket. There's a bit of a race on out here. But meanwhile, the batsman should come back for 3. Or 4, is it? But umpire Dickie Bird says, I want the third umpire, so he's calling for it. And...
Well, initially, I don't think Dickie Bird was going to call for it. The Pakistanis were pretty keen on this one, and they virtually asked for it. No, he's in. And Dickie Bird, I think he was quite confident in his own mind it wasn't out.
Well, it's a good, powerful drive, good, powerful strike by Simon Dole and away for 4.
Down the leg side, and we'll have to wait. We're not going to get an opportunity to see whether... Oh, there's going to be overthrows. It's going to be 4 by the looks of things. Now let's watch the umpire to see whether it's 4 runs or is it 5. Well, he got a nick on it, so it was a drop catch. And they crossed. So is it 5? Summon decision out there. Joel gets it away very fine. Could go to the fence. Yes, it will. 4 runs.
And he's made life very difficult for New Zealand. And Cairns just watching as Simon Dole down the other end is giving a great deal of pleasure to the schoolgirls coming along after school. He's gone again. It's up in the air this time. He must be gone. Anybody can catch it, and Salim Malik does. And so Dole's interesting, entertaining, enterprising, but always ambitious innings has ended. And it's 103 now for 8.
Yes, pretty good effort by Simon Dole. So tried to hit that one on the onside, where just the leading edge, which ballooned the ball, ballooning in the air behind the bowler. And Salim Malik rather thankful there, picking up that catch.
And 5 wickets for Wasim Akram. It's 103 for 8. Salim Malik made the catch, which he had to wait for, and he had to push everybody else out of the road, basically, because all of them could have a go at it. It went high enough for that, and eventually he gets very low, which is not good technique, but makes the catch. He'll try and hit 4s and 6s, and he's going to hit this in the air, but it's going to fall short of Mushtaq. And they're looking for a single, taking the single. De Groom wants to know whether Cairns is coming back. He's not. So 1 only. But he's batted well, Cairns. And he's certainly got an all-out assault this time, and he's hit that one high in the air, and he's going to be caught. Mustafa has it, and Cairns is out, so the trap was set. The trap was set well by Salim Malik. The bait taken and the catch made. Cairns' innings, it's a fine one, but it's out. He's out for 31, and another wicket for Atta-ur-Rahman.
Yes, Cairns falling in the trap. That one is short one, and he went for the hook, couldn't stop it, and the ball ballooned in the air towards the long leg region where Asif Mushtaba took a well-judged catch to dismiss Chris Cairns. But Cairns played a very useful innings of 31.
So one wicket just left now for New Zealand at 110 for 9. Cairns really falling into a trap. He was heading towards the short boundary, but he hit it too high, and Asif Mushtaba was sufficiently well placed to make the catch, giving Rahman his second wicket, 2 for 23 for him.
As the field well spread and the trap set for Chris Cairns to have a go.
And Rahman bowls to de Groot. It's a short ball and it just bounces in front of Basit Ali.
Wasim Akram, and a very long spell from this man. This will be his 17th over. Left arm over the wicket. And he's edged it. And he's gone. He's walking off. Just edging it through to the keeper. And the straightforward catch. New Zealand all out. Wasim Akram getting another wicket. That's 6 to him. Marathon bowling spell and a straightforward catch. And almost helping it through to the keeper, Rashid. So that will require Pakistan to bat tonight, probably for 1 or maybe 2 overs. So New Zealand, a dismal performance, all out for 110.
So there's the sorry side of the New Zealand batting lineup, all out for 110 in their second innings. Chris Cairns 31, Simon Doull of swashbuckling 29, but little resistance really in the end. And the bowling figures, well, a standout performance. Wasim Akram 6 for 43, his best ever performance in Test cricket. Welcome to the highlights of day 3 and what turned out to be the final day of the first test between New Zealand and Pakistan here in Auckland. Day began Pakistan 3 without loss, requiring 138 for victory. We pick up play in the first over. Chris Cairns bowling to Amir Sahal.
First ball of the morning, Chris Cairns, the bowler, to Amir Sahal. And it's a loose one to start. Big chase, and the fieldsman does a good job to keep it in the field, and the batsmen go back for the 3rd run. So 3 runs off the first ball of the morning. Saeed Anwar facing. A no ball, and Dickie Bird made sure that everybody knew about it. And a good drive results in 2 runs for Saeed Anwar. Goes for the hook, he's got it in the air and away from any fieldsman. Well, that could have gone anywhere, really. And Doull chases back. I'm not so sure he was in control of that.
It's a good, strong shot, and it's beaten Thompson. And it's not going to go all the way, I don't think. It's going to give Jones a chance to haul it in. And they complete 3. It's anywhere, and it's going to be caught by Young. So de Groot's made the breakthrough. An untidy shot from Saeed Anwar, and the first wicket has fallen. Richard de Groot has success.
Well, we saw Mark Greatbatch have trouble with one from Wasim Akram, very similar to this. A little bit of extra bounce from de Groot, and that's really tucked him up, and he just doesn't know where that's gone. Brian Young does, straight down his throat. So the breakthrough has occurred. New Zealand are on the way. So is Saeed Anwar for 7, Pakistan 21 for 1. Well, real effort going in here from Richard de Groot, and why not? They needed the breakthrough, and that delivery really climbed. We can see on Saeed Anwar, he had no idea where it was going. He tried to get it away from his head. That was really all he was interested in. And after that, he was hoping. But unfortunately for him, straight down the throat of Brian Young, who accepts something like his 4th catch in the match. He's really been in the action. And top delivery from Richard de Groen.
Now we've got a bowling change with Cairns coming out of the attack and Richard de Groen's Northern District's partner, Simon Dorr, coming in.
Right now.
And that really was a very interesting ball, because it seems that Syed Anwar has it under control and then he loses it at the last moment, and you can see him just looking around to see where it's gone. He's got no idea. So it certainly caught him completely by surprise. Young had the easiest catch he's made.
And he looked back down the wicket at Richard de Groen as if to say, where did you get that one from?
Oh, it's a no ball call, but a rather ambitious shot. Now Dickie Bird's found his voice.
Right over, mate.
What a bit?
Thanks.
Or maybe we've wound the pitch microphone up a bit.
Dickie Bird's just said to Simon Doyle, you're over by quite a bit there, and we'll have a look from side on.
Well, it wasn't that much.
It's enough, just enough.
He's got to have part of his foot behind the line. That was on the line, it wasn't behind it.
One.
It's a little psychological game going on, not only with the bluff in the middle of the pitch by the New Zealand players at the fall of that wicket, but also psychological when you look at the board and you think, we've still got over 100 to get here, and while New Zealand can keep them over 100, they're 115 at the moment, that's a little mark the Pakistanis will have to overcome. So another wicket before they get to that point.
Oh, that's close. And Asif Mushtabah must be thanking his judgment there, and perhaps just a little bit of luck.
Well, this is judgment of the highest order, because this ball has seamed back and may just have clipped something almost, maybe the inside thigh.
What does Dickie Bird say? He doesn't need to say anything. Mushtabah's on his way. He's out. So he's been caught and bowled. Mushtabah goes, and New Zealand have their 2nd wicket.
Yes, well, he is caught and bowled. It balloons up. Let's see if it's a pad and then bat. It's bat pad or pad bat, difficult to tell, but spooned up for the easiest of caught and bowls for Dool. And Dickie Bird, as usual, gives the batsman the opportunity to walk, and he does. And so Pakistan now 25 for 2. I think it is the bat pad rather than pad bat. And look how that balloons up. Seldom do you see a ball travel like that from the pad. Plenty of carry on it. And very simple catch there for Dool. So Mushtabah walks.
Nicely played by Salim Malik. Big chase for the New Zealand fieldsman. The batsman, as the sprawling save was made by Chris Cairns, will get 3 runs. De Groen to continue. In the air, he's collected this one. That's a good shot. 4 runs.
Yeah.
Pushing nice and straight. That's a lovely shot. Big chase here for Andrew Jones. And the ball wins the race. So it's been an expensive over from New Zealand's point of view. So Hale goes again. And he's lobbed this one away. And that's 4 further runs.
It's well played again. Lovely timing. That'll go all the way to the fence.
It's Amar Sahale. And that's a huge shot from Sahale. He just thumped the ball behind point. A wide, short ball, and take that. Well, it's a big shot. He's hit it really firmly. And Rutherford makes a magnificent stop.
Edge and caught. Brian Young swallows another one, and away goes Salim Malik. So there's still hope in this game for New Zealand yet.
Yes, that was a good delivery, just leaving the batsman, and Salim Malik not being able to get right behind that delivery, edges it, in fact guides it into the hand of Brian Young at 2nd slip. who has so far not missed a catch in this game. Looks a very good slip fielder. So out goes disappointed Salim Malik, the Pakistan captain, having made only 11, 56 for 3 Pakistan. And there must be some kind of panic in the dressing room. This is dismissal of Salim Malik, guiding the ball into the second slip to Brian Young. A comfortable catch just high. Delighted, of course, Brian Young and the New Zealanders.
Certainly one positive aspect to come out of this match has been the slip catching of Brian Young. It's been outstanding. Just away from Ken Rutherford in the gully. De Gruen, the fieldsman, down at third man, and 2 further runs for Basit Ali. Swinging away Sahel, and he's found the gap between the 2 players down on the leg side, and it's over the top for 6. So De Gruen dropping short, and Amir Sahel smacks it over the fence.
Yes, once again, Gruen wavering in length, bowling outside the leg stump, and Sahel right behind that delivery, lifting delivery, and hooks it to perfect timing between the square leg and the long leg boundary.
Turning very fine, Sahel, going quickly too, looking for a second, but no chance. Michael Owens way down on the deep. Amir Sahel played in the test match against New Zealand at Hamilton last season and got a pair. Well, there's Brian Young, 5 catches, which is a new New Zealand record for a fieldsman other than a wicketkeeper. 16 previous New Zealand players had taken 4 in a match, so a new mark for Brian Young. Nicely cut away down to Owens again. Doull heading up to bowler's 9th over. It's been largely De Gruen and Doull this morning. Easy single.
Yes, Ken Rutherford has done well to keep the pressure on, and the 2 bowlers, Gruen and Simon Doull, has bowled absolutely splendidly.
Another single here. Doull is bowling to a very strong offside field. Just straying onto the leg stump there. And Sahel's playing a great hand for Pakistan, 45 not out. And that's a high score in the context of this game.
Yes, indeed, and he was due for runs for a long time, and he has been failing and rather inconsistent after making that double century at Old Trafford. And a lot is expected of him, and here he's playing well, he's playing sensibly.
Another single for Basit Ali. A groan there from Doull. He realised again he'd straight down the leg side. Eased away down to third man. Quite a safe stroke. Down to Andrew Jones in that position. And the singles coming along at a nice rate for Pakistan here. They've picked up 4 of them in the over so far. For Simon Doull, and New Zealand just stay in it with another wicket, 73 for 4.
Yes, jubilation there for the New Zealanders. Very clever delivery there, very intelligent piece of bowling by Simon Doull, a slower one to Basit Ali, who is deceived like Kassim Mushtaba was, and he just lofts the ball back into the hands of Simon Doull.
So away goes Basit Ali, out for 7, 73 for 4.
Yes, I think Basit Ali looked to work this a little onside. We should give credit to the bowler too, perhaps not bowling it as quickly. It just spoons it up there. Simon Doull, a tall man, taking it above his head very comfortably.
It's a good shot. He's hit that 2 off for Jones.
Well, Sahale doesn't seem to be affected at all by this situation. And he's just got his 50 from 81 balls.
Waggamul, you can see, has peppered the ball all around the ground. One lovely straight drive. The 6 behind square, just over here now. And he's a left-hander, of course, so these are shots to square leg, one behind point, and this lovely straight drive down here. And he's going through mid-wicket this time, and Pocock will get it. So just the 1 run for him, and the scoreboard at the ground has said that that's his 50, and he's acknowledging it now. But we believe he's 51, and we'll stay with that.
Yes, it appears that De Gruyne is prepared to dig it in short, just down the line of his leg stump, or just outside, because they've stationed a fieldsman back at square leg in case he hits it in the air, but he controlled that shot quite comfortably. Lev Pocock has been stationed out there.
It's first ball, an appeal for LBW, not out, says Steve Dunn. So New Zealand searching for another wicket before lunch, and if they were to take another wicket, that's 5 in the session, and that would give them some hope to enjoy over lunch.
The appeal here is for Pad first. I think went onto the bat after that, but it got him, hit him outside the line of off stump anyway.
Down the leg side, a thought of 2. Amar Sahale seeing that Thompson has quite a long chase, and 2 runs can be easily completed. Pakistan need to get to 138, and they need 58 further runs. New Zealand need those 6 wickets in their hands. Sahale's played some big shots today. That was one that was less successful than some of the others, but he really has hit the ball well. This time, not quite there.
Yes, he just throws the bat at it, any width, and Sahale backs himself to take toll of it. And on this occasion, just going harmlessly by. And the field has just remained virtually the same throughout, 2 slips and a gully, and third man fine leg. So Rutherford continuing throughout the morning with, if you like, a bob each way.
Well, he's gone again through mid-wicket that time. He controlled it well, kept the ball on the ground, and just a single for him, so he really has given a great deal of pleasure to the Pakistan supporters. So Cairns back into the attack, and a bit of untidy stuff from De Gruyne. The single was always there, and it was retrieved, and no further penalty for Cairns and his full toss to start a new spell. Oh, Inzamam played an interesting shot there. It was almost like a tennis curve, and there's a chance of a run out, and it's missed.
Well, that was a dreadful throw from De Gruyne. And chaos out there with the running. Inzamam plays a strange shot from wide of off stump. Much slower ball, and look how he tried to work it onside, decided he wanted to run. The non-striker Sahale quite rightly goes back because the ball was coming straight back towards him. And that wild throw.
People in the corporate box. In the corporate boxes enjoying the cricket here as Simon Doyle continues, and Sahale goes for a big one again. The field is pretty strong on the offside, and eventually Andrew Jones decides that it might be his and tips it into Pocock.
Short and wide, Sahale has shown that he's keen to play that shot and played it with reasonable control. Quite close into him, got steep, but always appeared to be in control of the shot.
And Cairns is driven by Inzamam. Brilliant fielding from Chris Cairns, because he hit that with real power.
Inzamam, powerful player. Likes to work it onside though. Just this one once again, well outside off stump, closing the face on it. So quite attacking. A slip, a man in front on the offside and one in front on the onside as well.
Well, you wouldn't think it was the last over before lunch because Sahal's just gone for it. No respect for the bowler, no looking at him, just hitting him for 4. So 50 runs needed and Thompson with some thinking to do. For it again, all of Blaine's dropped it. Now it certainly appeared from the reaction of the New Zealanders and the sound that we heard that there was an edge there, and Tony Blaine's face tells the story. And is more orthodox against the last ball of the over. So a fascinating morning has seen Pakistan take their total to 88 for 4.
First ball after lunch then, it's going to be De Gruen bowling to Inzamam. So far, Inzamam has been kept scoreless for 22 minutes, but he certainly looked to have the right technique in the first innings, stayed there and really tried to graft it out. He's got his first runs here, nicely pushed down on the onside, and Andrew Jones chasing back, but Inzamam is underway with a couple. Gets a single as he whips it away down to Dool at fine leg, so that's 3 off the over so far.
So during the luncheon interval, just before the play started, the Pakistani batsmen to come were actually in the nets. There's a few of them in there, so it actually indicates really that they're putting a bit more extra preparation into what may be required this afternoon. So obviously there's a bit of pressure in the camp there in the Pakistanis, just doing that a little bit more to try and get themselves in tune.
I noticed also, Jeff, that Shane Thompson and Tony Blaine were out on the number 2 ground as well in the nets. So De Gruen completes the first over since lunch, and Pakistan are 91 for 4. Good-looking drive. He's got it through. That'll go to the fence. Once it got past to Michael Owens, it was all over, and that's 4 for Inzamam. A nice shot by Sahel. That's a great shot, in fact. Short and wide from De Gruen. And there was a player down there, but it fairly fizzed to the fence. He's gone, as he knows, put down. Mark Greatbatch, the sole slip, couldn't hold it. And Sahel survives.
Well, well, well. Just when Pakistan taking control of this match in a way, and another chance. Mark Greatbatch normally has got pretty good hands in that position. It flew pretty quickly to his left, but he got 2 hands, and I suppose you've got to say that one should have been taken.
Well run. Rutherford has a shot. Dickie Bird says no, doesn't bother with the third umpire. Inzamam well home. Pulls it away nicely forward of square, and that should go all the way. That's well struck again by Sahel, and another boundary for him. Goes back and away it goes again, 4 more. New Zealand fieldsman diving in all directions, but it's another boundary for Amar Sahel. That's beautifully played, straight down the offside. Jones has a big chase. It'll be touch and go. The ball edging its way to the line, and that's 4 more for Amar Sahel.
Oh, it's in the air, might be called. It is. Is it Young again? I think it might be. Shane Thompson certainly delighted. And Brian Young has the ball in his pocket again. He can't believe it.
Well, I'm not sure whether this is brilliant or a fluke, because he's not in there for one off the full face of the bat at all. He's there for the pad bat that balloons up, and he takes this one off the full face. Look at Sahel driving, And that's self-defence. That's gone straight into almost his midriff. He winced with it as though he was being hit, and it was almost like self-protection, and I really think that he just happened to find the ball in his hands. So 119 now, Pakistan for 5.
Latif is the new batsman, and he's coming out because Amar Sahal hit Shane Thompson. This is his second over, and he hit it pretty firmly, and Brian Young went straight in there. So did the ball. He's got it in his hand. Remarkable.
Yes, you see what normally happens with that position is the batsman plays forward and takes the inside of the pad onto the face of the bat, and can go reasonably quickly, or it can just pop up. But that's what the field is there for, not one off the full face of the bat.
Attacking fielders there now with a short leg and a short extra cover. Young there. So I suppose Thompson tonight could say he's got the mockers on Amar Sahal, because he had him dropped in his first over and caught in his second over.
And there's 2 slips and 2 gullies in now. Extra catcher in.
And Rashid off the mark, just pushing the ball through to extra cover. It was pushed with very good timing, and it's a very well hit ball, which brings him 3 runs. 123 for 5, 15 further runs needed. And Inzamam just clubbing it with the bottom hand, turning the blade, as he's been wont to do during the game, isn't he, Glenn? He seems to be wanting to hit the ball on the onside almost unreasonably.
Yes, he does, unless it's quite wide of the off stump, and then he's prepared to whack it through the covers. He prefers to bring some bottom hand in and punch it down the field. And let's see, 3.25 runs per over, so it's still quite brisk scoring here in this final innings.
Inzamam looking for another run. 1-2-3 for 5 becomes 1-2-4 for 5. Inzamam another couple. And 26, so a further 12 runs needed. And we're not even halfway through the game. And Inzamam decides to go for the ball on length. He hit it because it was short, and he's hit it for 4. One further run, which might become 2 for Rashid Latif. So just 5 runs needed now, and the individuals who can go away from here with their heads held high for New Zealand.
Well, I suppose Dool was a marginal selection, and we've already talked about him coming through strongly. De Gruen, who might have been put in the same category, has shown that he's got good control of line and length.
And he's turned that down for another couple, Rashid Latif. So that takes the score to 135, 3 runs needed. That's a big hit, and that's going to end the game. Rashid Latif has hit Thompson for 6 runs. And so Pakistan have won the test match, the first test in this Bank of New Zealand series against New Zealand. They have won by 5 wickets. They've done it just on the halfway stage of the scheduled time in the match. And Rashid Latif, the Pakistan wicketkeeper, has brought the victory for Pakistan, which in the end is 5-wicket victory for Pakistan in the first test match of a 3-test match series.
So a few nervous moments there for Pakistan, but achieving victory in the end by 5 wickets to go, 1-0 up in the series. Wasim Akram, with his superb bowling effort, was named man of the match. But after the game, we spoke to Captain Salim Malik.
Salim, congratulations. Your first test as captain, and you win it.
Yes, thank you.
What was the turning point for the game for you?
I think in the last second inning, when we were going in, we were pretty confident, and Wasim actually he changed the whole complex, and we were not expecting that. You know, we bowled them out in 110 runs. We thought we might go, you know, like 200 and 200 plus, but it was great bowling by Wasim Akram, and you know.
It must be easy to be captain when you have Wasim and Waqar to call on.
Yeah, you know, if you got a bowler like Wasim and Waqar Younis, it's always be, I think, for any captain, it's going to be easy job there.
That's for sure. Now, what about your thoughts on the wicket? Were you surprised you got one that was quite green?
It was, yeah, it was more spongy. You know, it's not quick wicket, but I think it was not a test standard wicket. I mean, the bounce was not even. Sometimes you know, just kick.
Did you find then that you were thinking along the lines of you'll have to cash in now because sooner or later you're going to get one that will get you out?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we were trying to go for shots, you know, and that's what I told Amir Sohail, you know, you just carry on your own game. You know, he likes to play shots. So the other end we were trying to just, you know, giving him a stand. So we succeed.
I always find winning captains, they usually have something to say about their team's performance in terms of improvement. They're never always satisfied.
No, I'm quite satisfied actually, but I'm glad one of our wicketkeeper, he made a record for Pakistan. Rashid Latif took 9 catches, and there's some great bowling from Wasim and Waqar, and I hope we repeat this in the second test match.
Have you ever known a test to go like this one?
I don't think so, not really. I don't remember.
Did it present you any special difficulties as captain?
No, the boys were very, you know, friendly, and it was like a team. So I enjoyed there.
All right, Salim, well, thanks very much for talking to us on One Word of Sport. It's been a pleasure having your team here. I'm really sorry it's been over so quickly.
Thank you. I hope we repeat again.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see you at the Basin Reserve in Wellington on Thursday.
Thank you.
So now the teams head to Wellington for the second test starting next Thursday. We look forward to bringing you highlights of that match, but until then, it's goodbye from Auckland.